Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are out for a weekend ride to Wakka in Longding district of Arunachal Pradesh. My friend Akash is gonna join me in this ride, so keep watching the video and stay tuned for more updates. My bike is all set. I'm just carrying a dry bag as we'll be only staying for a night, keeping it light and simple. My friend has reached and we kick off the journey. It's been raining since the morning, so we put on our rain gears. We stop at a fuel pump to tank up. We fill few liters at our hometown itself and the rest we'll refill at Arunachal as petrol prices are less there compared to Assam. By the time we reached Chabua, it started raining heavily. Been a long time riding through an intense rain, but it's all part of the ride, so we didn't complain and tried to enjoy the moment. We reached Dibrugarh and stopped at an ATM to withdraw cash. As I always say, it's safe to carry cash when riding to interior places in the mountains. The rain have stopped, which was a relief, but it still was cloudy, so we didn't take off our rain gears, though it felt a little hot and humid. And as expected, the rain greeted us again. It did slow us a little compared to riding on a clear sunny day, but the surroundings looked so pretty, especially the paddy fields and trees looked greener and so soothing. There are mostly two routes to Wakka. One is to enter from Deomali, heading towards Khonsa, leading to Wakka, and the other is from Dibrugarh, Kanubari-Longding, Wakka route. We opt for the second one as we were more familiar with the route and thought of riding back from the other one depending on the circumstances. And finally we reach Kanubari. We stop at the check gate to get our ILP, for which they charge only Rs 50 per person and you need to show your document. It's a hassle-free and quick process, so I urge everyone to get their ILPs when entering Arunachal. It was a Sunday, so most of the shops were still closed during the first half of the day. We rode a little further into the town and came across a fuel pump. We tank up here itself as it was a Sunday, so we were unsure if the rest are open, and also Longding has the last petrol pump, and beyond that up to Wakka you will not get any and have to buy from the shops by paying more. The vibe really changes once you enter Arunachal, and the fact that it was raining made the surroundings prettier. Everywhere it looked so fresh and green, it was like a gift for our eyes. And the road is worth the praise. The twisting curves and smooth tarmac of Kanubari-Longding highway is a treat, especially for riders. The rain have stopped once again, so we search for a place to take a pit stop to take off our rain gears and dry our rain-soaked boots and socks. We felt much better after taking off our rain gears. The weather was perfect for a ride, and finally the skies opened, which felt very inviting, and we were having a good time. We reached Wancho, which is about 20 kilometers before Longding town. This is a viewpoint and people usually stop here to click pictures and enjoy the view. We grasped the view from our saddle and didn't stop here as our destination was still a few kilometers ahead. And we reached Longding town. Wanted to have our lunch at this hotel, but it was closed as it was Sunday, so we ride on to find another. My friend was distracted by a rattling sound from his motorcycle, so we stopped to see and took out our tools from the toolbox kit to try and fix it. Found out that a nut from the exhaust pipe clamp is broken, but we didn't have any spare, so we tightened the one which was hanging there and it seemed to work just fine. We asked few locals if there is a motorcycle repair shop nearby, and they said we would get it on the way to town, but as it was a Sunday, so most of them might be closed, so we left towards the town, but first decided to have our lunch. We park our bikes by the side of the road near a hotel which was thankfully open, as others would mostly open on the second half of the day. After our lunch, we were ready to roll. Everyone seemed to be returning from their Sunday prayer at the church. We were starting to feel a little hot, so we ride on and leave Longding town. Longding seemed to be quite a big town, also has a few hotels and homestays. We head on towards Tisa, which is about 15 kilometers ahead of Longding town, and from where we have to take a diversion to Wakka. Found a motorcycle garage by the roadside where we stopped to fix the nut for the exhaust clamp of my friend's bike. The shopkeeper was kind enough to not charge anything from us. We thanked him and then resumed our journey.
Thank you.
The weather had turned a little hot, however the clouds gave relief from the sun and also enhanced the view. Honestly, I think monsoon is the right time to visit this place, as we encountered many small waterfalls on the way, and we also stopped at one for a while to click some pictures and videos. Riding forward a few more kilometers, we reached Tisa, which is the center point connecting Longding, Khonsa, Wakka and beyond. We had to take the road towards right when coming from Longding to proceed towards Wakka. The road became a bit narrow, but it was in a good condition. Longding Longding to Wakka is 50 kilometers and took us about 1 to 1.5 hours to reach. Our initial plan was to ride beyond Wakka up to Kanu village and then ride back to Wakka to spend the night and return home the next day. However, looking at the weather, we were not sure and had a doubt that our plans might change. The view looked gorgeous with a fresh green carpet over the mountains. Also, the air got a lot cooler as we left Tisa. We were taking it slow and riding very relaxed, enjoying every moment of the ride. However, we were yet again greeted by a heavy downpour. We stopped by the roadside to get on our rain gears, which was a struggle in itself, but eventually we put them on and also adjusted our luggage and ready to ride. We were very close to our destination. Wakka was about 20 kilometers from here. The rainfall was quite strong, with water sliding down the road, and we had to ride very slowly and carefully. It rained non-stop for about half an hour or so. Thankfully, we had our raincoats with us. The road is a little rough at intervals, but it's almost good all the way up to Wakka. After some time, the rain almost stopped, and I quickly took off my raincoat as I was feeling a little hot. Finally, we enter Wakka Circle. There's a wooden gate whose purpose is to keep Mithuns from going astray and mixing with other villages. There were a few kids who opened the gate for us, so in return, we offered few candies which we brought along with us. They thanked us and we waved goodbye and then carried on towards the village. The first view of old Wakka village, and it looked amazing. We got very excited. We stopped to enjoy the view and clicked a few pictures. The rain seemed like a blessing cause it enhanced the view with the clouds all over the sky. Just look at this beautiful scenery. We felt like we chose a perfect day to visit this place. We were very happy. After asking a few locals, we finally found the homestay we had booked a room. Airtel and BSNL network is available here. We park our bikes by the roadside and walk down to the homestay to meet the host. This homestay is called PK Homestay and is the only homestay in Wakka. Other than this, there is also an IB here. There is a flight of steps leading to the entrance, which is quite steep for someone not used to walk downhill often, and the rains have made it a little slippery. We meet the owners of the homestay. They're a couple from this village, very welcoming family, and the setup definitely reminds of home. They offered us to sit. We told them about our plans to visit the nearby places, and looking at the weather, they suggested that we visit Kanu tomorrow and in the meanwhile go to the king's house in Old Wakka village and then to a viewpoint nearby. The view from the homestay was amazing. Clouds moving slowly, playing hide and seek with the villages looked stunning. We sat there and enjoyed the scene for a while. We decided to first visit the king's house, which is at the end of the road, and then return to a viewpoint nearby if the weather permits.
हेलो नमस्ते। राजा का घर यही है ना? यही है। अभी है? नहीं है ना? होगा।
We ride back from the king's house and head towards the viewpoint as we had enough of daylight. However, it began drizzling and we stopped to put on our rain gears.
क्लियर हो गया देखो डाउन टू एटलीस्ट
We reached Wakka town and just after crossing the shops on the roadside, had to take a left to an uphill leading towards the viewpoint.
ये viewpoint का रास्ता ये है क्या? ये वाला? अच्छा ये जो प्लेग्राउंड होगा देखिए बारिश देखिए मैं इसलिए जाना होगी हो जाएगा रे बारिश देखिए मैं इसलिए जाना होगी।
The viewpoint leads through a narrow unpaved road which is quite steep. The distance of the viewpoint from Wakka is 5 to 7 kilometers and it took us about 7 minutes to reach. We park our bikes at the two-wheeler parking area and then walk towards the viewpoint. Everything was covered in a blanket of mist and fog. The weather was cool and very refreshing. Slowly the sky was starting to clear and we could finally see the view, which was breathtaking. We stopped there, clicked few pictures, shot few videos, had a great time. The colors looked so pretty, saw such kind of green after a long time. The sunset view would be amazing from here on a clear sunny day. This is the new Wakka, and the one on the hilltop with traditional huts is the old Wakka village. After enjoying the view for some time, we ride back towards the town. But before we head back to the guest house, we wanted to stroll around a bit as we had some time before it gets dark.
निकालने का जगह रखा होगा।
We ride a little further towards Wakka Chongkhao Road as the rain had paused and the landscape looked amazing. Also stopped to click a few pictures and then reached back to Wakka town just in time before it started pouring heavily. We had a hot bowl of Maggi, enjoying the sunset, and then returned back to the guest house in some time.
Jump.
Augie was excited to greet us back at the guest house. We played with him for a while and then sat for dinner. Food was very delicious, had a great meal and then called it a night. Stay tuned for an exciting episode as we travel beyond Wakka the next morning.